Get one version of me and one version of me only, which is transparent and honest.
That's Mental Health Commissioner Ali Friesen back in January answering lawmakers' questions about her agency's initial request for over $569 million from the state for next year's budget.
I want to be clear for taxpayers to understand. So the increase that you guys are asking for is $57,667,350. Is that correct?
A massive funding increase requested by the commissioner just 1 year on the job as she looks to also fill a sizable and unspecified shortfall for the current fiscal year. Commissioner Friesen sounded the alarm to Governor Stitt last month about her own agency's spending and misappropriation of finances. And now lawmakers are hearing from mental health providers across the state who say they aren't getting paid.
It's a very big deal. If they're not getting paid, guess what they're not doing? Providing services to the people of Oklahoma that need those services.
Providers in Tulsa for suicide prevention are especially on high alert.
They all met and kind of said, you know, where's the rubber meeting the road here, because we cannot give up these things because literally people will die.
Governor Stitt says he's glad the agency is taking a closer look.
As soon as you start holding people accountable, you start asking questions, you start looking at things, people start spinning. They start calling the media. They start saying people are going to die. They start calling their legislator. They start going crazy.
Fox 25 obtained this update the agency gave to lawmakers last week, saying due to the evolving financial landscape, some contracts may be subject to reductions or non-renewal based on available funding and organizational priorities. And legislators may hear from our contracted vendors expressing confusion or frustration.
I encourage our agency heads to dig into and to ask those questions to make sure the tax dollars are being spent wisely.
The Department of Mental Health now under two separate investigations from the Office of the State Auditor, Cindy Byrd, and the Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency, also known as LOFT. Governor Stitt said in March, Commissioner Friesen disclosed to him the department's previous CFO had engaged in a sort of shell game to conceal ongoing mismanagement of the agency's funds. That former CFO, Rich Edwards, sent lawmakers on the LOFT committee this letter, also obtained by Fox 25, denying any allegations of wrongdoing and expressing full willingness to cooperate with any investigation into the agency. He says in his letter, no one has ever approached me regarding these allegations. Edwards' departure, just part of a major shakeup of top brass at the agency in the past few months. In November, the chief of staff left. Then 3 months later, the new chief of staff abruptly resigned, adding to lawmakers' concerns. The Department of Mental Health operates 11 state facilities and 12 satellite agencies. Friesen told House budget members they're now up to around 2,000 full-time employees. Friesen's asking for 22 additional positions across the agency, making over $100,000 a year. And lawmakers want to know why.
Because 22 at 100,000 is a little over $2 million. That's a lot of money. And so I would appreciate it if you could let us know that.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you for the question. So I'm happy to follow up with the detailed breakdown.
She also agreed to follow up with the total number of employees and salaries just for her leadership team. Some lawmakers estimate over $1 million in new salaries for her top admin staff, but fear it could be more. In October, agency officials reported to the legislature they had 15 employees at their central office making over $100,000 a year. But agency officials now tell Fox 25 that number in October was actually 28 making over $100,000. And now, 6 months later, that number has grown to 41 people making over $100,000 a year at the central office. Do you feel like you've gotten the information that you were looking for yet?
Some, but not all of it. And I think some of it's because I don't know if they fully understand.
And concerns remain lawmakers aren't being given all the information.
But what is the range? Is it, do the salaries go to, is there any that's a 200 plus or 300 plus or 400
No,
plus?
ma'am. No, the cap is my compensation, which is right now $190. So no one can make over what I make.
Fox 25 searched a public database of state employee pay records and found at least 4 agency employees did take home more money last year than Friesen, one making $316,000. Last week, Commissioner Friesen agreed to an interview with Fox 25 to discuss these issues. But just hours before the scheduled sit-down, her office told us they had to back out for now. In the meantime, the urgent goal uniting lawmakers in both chambers is getting answers about your tax dollars and services for some of Oklahoma's most vulnerable.
When we are possibly cutting services, and we're going to affect people's lives. That matters, and we should know about that, and we are on top of it.
Right now, hair's on fire, and we need to resolve some things because human lives are at stake.
Now, in answering some of our questions off camera, an agency spokesman said in part, our priority is ensuring the financial stability of the agency while continuing to provide critical services to Oklahomans. You can read the full statement on OKCFox.com. During her 7-month-long investigation, Fox 25 also discovered discrepancies in Commissioner Friesen's listed licensing status. Currently, her licensed professional counselor status in Oklahoma is permanently expired. Hear from both the governor and Friesen on this issue tomorrow night.